I we're here, our fourth and probably our final installment for the series until further notice, because of course the series has gone on hiatus for now. But I just have to say, overall, I was very impressed with this last second half. You know, I think overall, if I had to give the entire series, season two, a rating, I'd probably give it like a high 8, even maybe a 9. I personally think it was better than season one. I think it was like the perfect mixture of everything. So I would give it, like I said, like an 8.9, 9.1. But I guess saying that, what would you guys rate the overall season two?
Overall, I think it's a solid high 9 out of 10.
Okay. Why would you put it there?
I feel like we went a
Bro, you
lot
fucking
more than 4. Um, so a lot of my questions were cleared up, and I just
That's
like
what I do say.
I liked a lot like the character
This
moments
map is huge.
that
What the?
happened in like this later last half of season.
Where do you go?
Yeah, I think it did a great job of filling up a lot of plot holes, giving us more information, but like also setting up for like I guess a bigger picture as well. What about you, Joe?
Me? Um, I I actually enjoyed season one a little more. That's just me. I thought season one was a little better. I did like it though, especially for like the thing for me. Fuck, the thing for me is like I felt like it started strong, then it slowed down, and then it ended strong. But like, so some parts in the middle to me kind of felt not a drag, but like slower, I guess. I think season two was probably like eight point something, like in the middle. But like overall, I'd still give the series like.
What about you, Edgar?
What, the whole season, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think my score went up. I give it a 8, 8.5 probably. I like the
Eight
second
and a
half
half.
just because it told more of like the backstory. I like that.
Yeah.
Should we start discussing the first episode? I feel like we should only cover some key points.
I
Yeah,
think we
keep
should
going.
curse you. Before I guess one thing I did want to say is that uh going into this, I didn't know anything about the show, and I think at first, I'm not gonna lie, I low-key thought it was something that I wasn't gonna like. I thought, because I like more of like fast-paced, intense shows, which I mean, it does have, like I said, that does have moments, but I feel like also, even like away from that, I feel like it's just overall just a really good story. Like, I'm not gonna lie. I am excited if we do eventually do season three when it does finish up. But I think for the first, I guess, little sessions for a series, I think it was a great start. You know, definitely was something that I don't think I would have watched like on my own, but it's something that I definitely don't regret watching.
I I think yeah, for me it's just always been on my watch list. I always kept putting it. I told Mario about this. I always kept putting it off, and I don't know why I put it off for so long. Like this, genuinely, I fucking loved it. Anyone else want to say anything, or should we go on?
I mean, kind of same thing as you. I've had
The
it
same
like in the
thing,
back
just
of my head. Like I heard it's good, but like I guess it being an isekai made me like a bit too like hesitant to actually like put in the time to watch
yeah,
it.
some isekais. Yeah, and it's as you said, it almost feels disrespectful to refer to it as. Should we
The
go
one
on
thing I
to?
do also have to say is, when mentioning like the show to other people, I was surprised at how many people had as well, like, who had watched it and heard of it, and they all said the same thing. Like, they all agreed that it was like something that like was just really well
Oh, hold on, you
written.
lagged. Oh, really? What, really?
Yeah. Yeah, I guess we'll start off with episode one.
Uh, so I think, as I said, I watched this for a while. From what I remember, the first one started off where he's like in the library again, trying to get Beatrice, and he finds out that like the book is like empty or some shit that's been empty for a while, Then
Mm-hmm.
like Elsa shows up and she like fucking like oh she had a contract with the kidnap to protect the library. And then Elsa shows
Yeah.
up and she fucking like kills Beatrice, but Beatrice sends what's his name? Subaru away before she gets to him. And this is the episode where Amelia went fucking crazy, right? She's in the trial and she's like her eyes are like purple and she's gone crazy.
Oh yeah, that one.
And then we find out that Roswell's the one that's making snow, and then he kills both fucking Garfield and
And
Ram.
Ram.
And we find out his goal was to isolate Amelia the whole time.
You know what?
And then it
I like
ends with
this.
so what's up?
What is it? I like to say
It's because I was
that
gonna. Oh yeah, go. Fuck, go. Sorry, my bad.
Roswell low key went from like, obviously there's something weird about him. Obviously there's something wrong with him. But the fact that like the more and more we learn about this guy, it's just like how much deeper and how like intelligent is he as a character? Because wow, he's like always been like 5 steps ahead. Like, like I guess what you did predict last week was that he knew he's probably known for a while that he's able to do that, and the fact that
Yeah,
he like kind of basically just gambles and be like, oh, I just know that eventually,
you'll get it right.
eventually he'll with this enough like over calculating and enough like looking into the future, he knows for a fact that if I think he even said once like,
Oh my
maybe
god,
my
these rounds are
time.
30 minutes.
It's like maybe me in this world won't succeed, but I'm setting myself up for an alternate version of me to achieve my goal. And I was like, damn, bro, like he's building this brick
Oh,
by
I
brick,
know.
piece by piece.
And I
I think what
guess
surprised me was just how easily he was willing to just fucking kill Ram when he saw I would give him an advantage against Garfield. Like he did not hesitate.
well, I guess he was also just gambling on that he could like restart it.
He was
And I
gambling,
think
yeah.
with like what we
Because even
learned,
Subaru asked him, he's like,
yeah,
you're killing them too based on your guess that I can that like I. And he's like, well, you you're mean. And he's like, well, the reason that your reaction is how it is, you feel shock and anger, but you don't feel grief because you think you can fix
Honestly,
whatever happened
surprised
yesterday.
that I'm surprised at the amount of time that Subaru's like crashed out over simple things. I'm surprised that right there and then he didn't like. I mean, I guess at that point in time he was already beaten down. He had already like
he
he had
was
been
already
like
just
he's
determined to like just restart at that point. He just
yeah
wanted to get like
he was
a bit more
Oh yeah,
information.
because Beatrice had died. I think he was gonna restart anyway.
yeah. So he was already his lowest, but the fact that he kind of just like yelled and was like, "I kind of understand you." I was like, "Damn, bro! I thought he was about to like
No, yeah,
go in and just start
that's the
swinging."
thing that fucking Roswell said. He was like, knowing you. What the fuck happened? He was like, knowing you would have like
He, like,
screamed in outrage and shit, but you're like not even like mad. Like he's like you're just mad, but you're not in grief or some shit. Roswell he's indeed a character. He's a character.
Yeah, but
I
honestly, I going into here, I didn't know how much backstory we were gonna learn, but I feel like we've learned about like a little bit of everybody. Like we learned a good amount of backstory, of course, from Amelia, which we already like I said we already had from the movie, but which is more infer like when they gave us like 2 or 3 episodes like fully of just her backstory. We learned a lot about Beatrice, and then eventually like, towards the end of the series, of course, we learned a lot about Roswell.
also
You know,
did I miss? Sorry, did I miss something? But like he goes up to Roswell and says, "I know you're the one who made it snow." How does he? Did I not catch it? Like how does he know that Roswell
I
made
mean,
it snow?
I guess for that part, I kind of just inferred because I don't think there is any other magic user besides Amelia, and she was like kind of too busy. Like,
I thought it was the bunnies that were making this.
well, no, I think they said the bunnies are attracted to powerful magic. So every single time it snows, that's why they appear because they're attracted to powerful
yeah,
magic.
it's like because we learned like the spell he has to do to make it snow is like pretty intensive.
I don't know. Like I was just confused on how the fuck he knew that. Don't make me Hunter.
My
I'm
small.
Hunter. I just didn't know how the fuck he knew that. What else happened in this
Why
episode?
am I small?
Yeah, bro. This map is fucking huge. I don't think the. I did say that the ending Like that shit was creepy as fuck. Where there's just like a half-eaten Subaru, and it's just like Amelia like comforting him to death. That shit low-key like it
One
was like
Oh
thing that
yeah.
did
scary, but like
shock me
that shit was creepy as fuck, bro. They were just eerie.
it's the one thing that did shock me, but I kind of guess kind of like was a thought in my back of my mind was that every single time he dies, that like version of that world continues.
Is that
Like in
confirmed?
some,
I don't think it's confirmed.
Because even
I don't think that because they're just possibilities of what happens after he
didn't
dies.
Echidna tell him that only the witch of
Yeah, only the witch knows exactly, but
Yeah.
but I guess that kind of brings down to like where like isn't it like there's different timelines where like Subaru takes different paths depending on who he kind of aligns himself with
yeah, Jill did say
as
that
well.
like last week, I
oh the
think.
lineup. Well, I don't think any of them are like canon. They're just like side stories. They're like
Yeah, I guess it's just kind of a thought in my head that like after he dies, technically there is like still like I said, like they all have reactions. They all like act a different way when he dies, depending on like how he dies. Like the first one that they showed when he was going through the quote unquote trial was where Amelia was like, "Broke your promise. Why'd you die? All this and that." Like he's just straight up just like
also. Do you
neck is
guys
sliced
remember?
open.
Do you guys? What the fuck? Do you guys remember something I said last week about it? I thinking it was like a loop. Why is
Mm.
Subaru in the text? Because he says like he didn't act as Subaru as he intended Subaru to like act. So that just got me thinking more that like I think.
You mean like in
Did
the
you guys not catch it? Cause like he like well okay he said like Subaru like acted as he was expected or some shit like that. But I think it's something about Subaru being in the text. And that just got me thinking like how the fuck is Subaru
in the book?
You know what?
in
I
the
also
book? So
wonder
that's why
is
I
that
thought that was like that kind of furthered my thing about it being a time loop. Cause like I remember that last week I said that like watch it be some shit where like Subaru has to stop Amelia from turning into Sotelo or something. And now I kind of thinking more. I think low key it might be a time loop. I don't know. Maybe it's just like
well, I feel like
cool.
at that point. Well, the one thing that I did find curious was the books. Of course, you know, you looked at Roswell's. We didn't get like look at Roswell, but we assume it's blank. You look at Beach's book, you saw that as blank. I wonder if it like shows or kind of writes a certain thing like on a different person,
Yeah,
or like only specifically shows it for a contract, which means that technically I'm wondering if like if it's changing. Like, what if it like for example, it didn't mention a specific person to Beaches. It was just like some person will come, but in Roswell's book, like you said, it most likely said his name. So I'm wondering if it kind of just changes based on like your contract or like the person actually using it.
yeah, because I
So like it kind of like adapts.
the witch did give it to him specifically, right? Echidna did
Yeah,
say this is for
they
you,
give.
this is for him. So maybe she maybe
I don't know.
protected Rock or something, but I don't
I
know.
mean, unless I'm remembering incorrectly, but I think he said that Subaru's mentioned in the book, and that just got me thinking. I was like, well, Subaru's from another world, so like, I started thinking more that like this shit might be a time loop. Because how I don't know. That's what I thought. Is there anything else you guys want to say on this episode?
No, not really.
Well,
I think the big episode for me was the Tea Party episode.
the big parts of the next episode 37 was that Subaru turns like to a kid again, and then he sees like the whole like behold an unthinkable present. He like goes through like as you said like the alleged like continuities of like what like
Potential outcomes.
yeah of what it could have been. Well, one I found the coolest was when Reinhardt fucking killed Puck. I think that just shows how strong like that. I found that one to be my favorite. The one where you see Reinhardt fight him, I thought that one was a cool one.
Yeah, 'cause I think at this point, Puck, like, in his beast form,
Puck
was
is
like
one
the
of the stronger
strongest of
ones we know.
strong.
Yeah,
And Reinhardt just like showed
one
up. Yeah.
oh, we then he like sees a Ram figure, but we find out that it's like the Witch of Lust. Then the Echidna proposes a contract to him, says that she'll
You
bring him
know,
the
that's the
answers.
thing I wanted to say.
I see
Watching that
someone.
when he was so close to doing that contract.
Oh,
I'm like, the fact that he almost took the contract without even asking what he had to give up was actually
but
crazy.
Kidna smart, bro. He was like at a low.
I
He
was
was like
like,
he was
that's
like
like
at
that,
low.
like, and then when we find out that she has contract with a bunch of people, like, shows me like how like of course she's just one of 7 witches, but the fact that like she's probably the most manipulative slash like has a hold on probably more people than we can even know.
She is
Because like I
greedy,
said,
so that probably
yeah,
contributes to that.
I that is one thing I said. Because why did the other witches intervene? Like, I think that her name is Sekhmet. I remember this. I think she's the witch of Sloth. She said that she acts as like the watchdog of fairness. That's why she intervened. But I genuinely couldn't like find a
but I
reason
feel like
for
that's
any
also
of the
crazy
others
though.
I think
to
Because
intervene.
isn't
especially
Sloth supposed to be like,
You don't do anything. So like
Lazy,
all
yeah,
these
yeah.
other witches are kind of like some of them are behaving against like
what they
because
should
like
be representing?
I think
and this
she
is what I also
wishes
said.
that she was
What's up?
acting specially. Like I think she's like something compelling her to like intervene.
And I even put down is the Witch of Wrath. I think her name is Minerva. Is she bad? Nothing she's done in the show has given me the sense that she's bad.
Because she's the one who tried to prevent him from dying, right?
And she's the one who heals them. Yes, and like literally nothing she's done so far has led me to think that she's like I don't know, bro. Like the witches are probably the biggest like
I
cause
think
of
kind of
headache
brings
for me in
back
this show.
to it brings me back to a point that I think I mentioned a couple weeks ago. I think at the center of all the witches, overall, they're all not bad. I don't think, like I said, I think I mentioned I feel like there would be like put in like a lawful evil, like they're not bad people, but they are willing to go to the extreme in order to get what they want. But if
I
it
don't know,
doesn't cause
like
for
the fucking little
sacrifice, they
one.
won't do it.
She was willing to throw hands for whoever fucking hurt Super. Like she was about to like she was like who made you cry? And like all the witches were like oh shit. She's mad right now. But I don't know like it's especially like especially the fucking Minerva. I can't see anything that like leads. Okay, where is this motherfucker? I just
And I
can't see
said,
anything
but
that leads me to think that. As I said,
yeah,
we've
but
seen
same
very
thing. Even
little
a
of her.
Kidna isn't really bad. It's just more of her
She's
curiosity is like an overwhelming like she takes curiosity to like an extreme. Because like even though he was like, oh, what do you want with me? And she's like, oh, I just you're appealing to me. Like you're like there's just something about you that makes you want to like. I don't know, that was a really weird speech to be honest. She was like kind of like being a little zesty,
But I think
but yeah,
that
basically her at the
was
end.
like her greed coming out. She just wants more
Exactly.
and more
She just
of like
at the end of the day
everything.
she just wants more knowledge, more greed. It's not like she's doing it to intentionally like make him suffer. It's just that's just her way of doing it, you know.
I mean, these next episodes were kind of the same, so we could
Ah,
just like
haha.
go on. Though at the end of this one, Satella shows up. She like comes in and Kidna looks pissed. I noticed that at the end of the episode when you see that Satella comes in, she looks pissed. And how did he try killing himself? Was he choking on his tongue?
He
He
bit his
bit his
tongue.
tongue off.
He was
Yeah.
trying to choke on it. And Satella, the whole thing that she basically tells him is like that you want you want to like save. And then while he's dying is like I heard their names are Typhon and Segment say to let him die to respect their wishes, his wish. Again? I was Hunter last round. To let him die to respect their wishes, but Minerva, Daphne, and Carmela all fought to like bring him back. And then like he like leaves and he's like all like revigorated. He's like, fine, I'll like what does he do? He says that like he'll like try to like what does he say? He says that like I'll try to like take care or like care for myself more or like he says
Like
Yeah,
he'll
something like
love
I
that,
look
right?
out for
himself first
myself.
off
Like
and all.
yeah,
Yeah, I'll look after
look out for.
myself more and then I'll use return by less. And he says that Satella. This is another thing that led me to that like it's a loop. Satella says that she had been saved by him and wants him to save himself. I mean, if
Yeah.
that's not a loop, I don't know what is. And then killed. Subaru says he'll save her, and then we find that this was probably the big. We find out Roswell was the one who sent the assassins to the fucking.
Now that's
Like,
crazy
he's the one who sent the
Yeah, the
because
assassins to the
mansion.
mansion.
that
And
like kind of makes you think. Does that mean if he had connections, do you think he was probably even behind the first attack? Like maybe it was a way of like.
I mean, at this point, it's most likely.
Because we never
At this
learned
point, it's
who the
Yeah,
buyer actually was
I
either.
Because I feel like at that point it's kind of more of like he may have sent him to like see if Subaru was the person he was waiting for. Because like I said, apparently like he eventually figured it out. We don't know how early. I'm assuming he figured it out really early
I think
that
by the time
Subaru
Subaru
was the
went to the
one.
mansion, he might have known.
Hmm. So
Probably
I'm
because
like,
like he had his plans in the book to like that Amelia was maybe supposed to die, or that like the thing wasn't the fucking like amulet wasn't supposed to like be in Amelia's possession, and like I think he found out like what by the time Subaru was in. Okay, all right, buddy.
ew.
Oh, that's stupid. You can just kill yourself and you'll be fine.
Returns by death.
Return by death. Return by quack.
Oh, where are you? But oh, you guys are throwing me off my fucking. I
Return by
gotta lock
quack.
in real quick.
Return by
But yeah,
quack.
he says
Return by
we
quack.
find out that return by quack. We find out that Rosal was the one who has been well, we find out he's the one behind everything. I don't know. This episode was not uneventful, but like I just feel like it was like the
Okay.
second half of the witch one. It was the second
I
half of the
also
witch episode.
I feel like it's just kind of also necessary, you know?
Yeah, we
Because
needed some
if
like
not,
downtime to learn more
yeah,
stuff.
because I feel like I said, it starts off like pretty then picks up extreme speed, then slows down, then picks up speed again. Like this is the point where it kind of slows down, but like you kind of know it and are anticipating like what's gonna happen next. You know that like these
I
last
just
couple
also have
episodes
one
are
more
fun to like
question.
go crazy.
Like as we saw, like we also I also forgot to mention something. Echidna gives him like info evil down to or some shit. So I don't know what you guys make of that. I forgot what I was gonna say. Oh, that whole episode with the witches just made me think even more. Then why is the witch called such pieces of shit? Like none of these witches look that bad, and like the witch color are like fucking
Exactly.
like pieces of
honestly,
shit.
I mean, I think
You know
that's
what that
just like
kind of
habits
reminds me
of
of?
like religious cults.
That's exactly what I was about to say.
Like if you go back to like Spain, like 100 years ago, like the Inquisitions, like it just happens.
Let's say like you can even look at that like what the fuck. I'm sorry, I heard Goku music. Anyways, and like even it kind of even breaks down to like even like wasn't it like I think Greek and Roman gods were like these people would give everything to them, like they would keep these gods at such a high standard, and then the gods would be like, nah, I don't really like
Well,
you
this map is
guys.
too big.
So like that kind of makes you think of the same thing. It's like I feel like they see like these witches and like the tales and like the stuff that everyone has said about them, like, and they think that like, oh my god, they're these evil. Oh my god, I love. I'm gonna worship them. They're like gonna make everything that's bad about this world amazing. In reality, they're just kind of like,
I
they're
don't
kind of
think
just
they're good.
there.
I doubt they're good.
I don't think they're fully good, but I feel like they're kind of like a Roswell. Like Roswell's doing it for whatever purpose that he was stating, you know.
Bro, this
But
is impossible. But I feel like the big thing about me was the whole Subaru and Satella interaction.
I also feel like
That
Satella favors Subaru a lot more than like Amelia. Right? Cause like in like Amelia's trials, she like a lot more like less helpful.
Jill's kind of
oh,
like,
like a
I'll
Kidna,
show
you
you,
mean?
but I'm not gonna tell you anything.
Yeah. Oh, and then like, we find out that like, and this was like that like Subaru is in is in fucking is in Roswell's thing because like when he tells him that he lost qualification, he acts all surprised because
to live for.
that wasn't what I had heard or what I thought would happen. Like when he's told him that he lost qualifications to the witch trial.
That was also kind of petty too, Loki.
I hear Goku music as well. He's
I
here. He's
guess,
fucking here.
like I said, I found that kind of petty too. That basically he's like, I'm not gonna do a contract with you. So instead, I'm just gonna like make your life slightly harder.
Oh. Oh, Amelia, yeah, he like made it slightly harder. He should took away, yeah, that's fuck me.
Like,
That's what I noticed as well. Like she's petty as shit, bro.
yeah,
She's
like I said,
literally
like they knew that, like she knew that he would eventually figure it out, but it was just kind of like, here's an extra wrench just to make
fuck
you
you up a
regret.
little more, yeah. Well, this episode ends with Subaru like going on like a fucking mental like out like spiral, and then Otto finds him and shit out of him.
My
And I'm just gonna say,
my
Otto has risen up so much in like my like favorite character. Like, I fucking love Otto, bro.
I feel like
I-
he's gone. He kind of like at first I didn't see it, but
I
he's
did
kind of
not
like
think he was gonna
a
be a
Tails
relevant
role.
character at all.
I thought he was
Like-
gonna be like the Apple guy at the beginning.
Yes,
And to come
I
in-
thought he was gonna be like that. Like, just part of that whole like little like witch trot. No, not the witch. The fucking whale arc. Cause he didn't even show up toward the second half of toward like the final like
This is
loop
gonna be like
of
a
the whale
gag
arc.
character.
I thought, yeah, but bro, I fucking love him. He's genuinely one of my favorite characters. Alex, so the next episode, you guys want to say anything else about that one? I feel like it was just Subaru like
What?
saying that he treated his
guess-
life with a little more respect. He said he saved
starting to
Satella.
lock in. I feel
It was when he locked in. Yeah, he said he'd take care of himself more. He would save Satella, and we find out that Roswell is the one orchestrating everything. That's what we really just found out. Is there anything else you guys want to say?
I think that's it.
For the next one,
I
as I
guess-
said,
I guess one last thing I want to add was I never noticed this till like the end. Was that like, of course, recently like he goes through like a certain amount of days and then he dies and he hits a checkpoint, and then like basically for the next couple episodes his whole
after
goal
this, he didn't
is
die. He went.
that's what I was
like,
gonna say. That's what I was gonna say. Like that. For most of the time, it's like he kind of speed runs it, but when he finally like confronted Roswell, I was like, "Nah, this is it." It's like I'm locking in. He's like, "No more deaths." Like he's like, "You have 4 days," and like those 4 days like stretched out for like the rest of the season. But
Yeah,
at
no,
the
he got
same
shit
time,
done.
those four. I said, but at the same time, those 4 days like that looped like 3 times in the span of one episode. Like I didn't realize how long it was from him getting to the trial, waking up, talking to them, heading back to the mansion, and then fighting, the mob beasts and all that stuff. But the fact that it took that long time, because like even like later on, once we'll get to like with the Garfield fight and all that stuff, like I was like, dang, he kind of feel like he's running out of time. Like it says like, I guess like you kind of know like when the loop is gonna like continue because of that of just how long the last like this last loop is, because those last 4 days from stopping the assassination on the manor and how finishing the trials like stretched off a good like 4 or 5 episodes.
I guess because
Yeah,
he
well,
locked
I-
in this time.
I feel like
it
that.
had a
I
lot
feel
more
like that
effort.
was like. I feel like that wasn't on purpose, because in the first one he was using like his return by death as more like a tool, but like after he made the thing with Satella, where like I'll care for myself. I think that's the reason, because like it showed a change in mindset that he didn't want to like rely on it that much. That's my best guess. Is that all we want to say about that episode?
Yeah.
Well, I feel like I'm gonna get fucked right now. The next episode starts with Otto being like, "Hey, bro, shit," and then Subaru goes to make a bet with Roswell. He's like, if he saves the sanctuary, if he's wait, stop doing. I'm working. I'm on the job right now. He's like, if he saves the sanctuary, that like Roswell has to like abandon like the book or some shit.
All
Which I know he eventually kind of like
Fuck!
nonchalantly agrees to that, but how do you agree to make a deal with someone who you know and theoretically go back and fix every mistake.
Even
Like,
Roswell
how did
said, he's like, I'm assuming that you're doing this to set up groundwork for your next life. He didn't think he was gonna get it in this life. Even Roswell
that's what
said,
I
he's like,
said? I was like, if I'm Roswell, I'm thinking, I have no how many times. I do not know how many times he's had this conversation. He could
bro,
have like
think
had
about
this
it.
exact same
Roswell is at the
conversation
point
multiple
where he
times.
is because he thinks that everything that's in the fucking
Book is correct.
is in the book will come. So in his mind, there is no way that wins. Because as I said, in his mind, there's no way he can win against the book. But he does, and like and that was the whole point of like the fight. He was like, if I can save both the sanctuary and the man, throw away.
The book's wrong.
The book was wrong, and he has to help Amelia become ruler. Then Subaru talks to Ryuzu about Garfield's past, and he talks to Amelia to make her feel better. And when she damn Mario, what the fuck? And when she falls asleep, he talks to Puck, and then Puck breaks their contract. And Amelia gets pissed because he's like, "Well, you said that you stayed with me, but then you like left." Then Amelia fucking runs away, and Subaru shows up and talks to her. And then, wait, what the fuck? Roswell found her and said, "Oh," and then we found out that Roswell said like, "Wait, I'm going all over the place." Roswell, we find out that Roswell told that if she became candidate, he couldn't freeze everyone. And then at the morning of the next day, Ryuzu and Amelia disappear. And what the fuck? No. Okay. Wait. Otto goes to talk to fucking. Otto goes to find Garfield in the temple, and then at the same time, Subaru went to find Amelia at the trials. That's what happened. I got confused for sure.
I guess that
But
also brings up another point that I was mentioning, because like how everyone like we're slowly learning about all like these characters. Cause like even here around this time, I can't remember exactly when we learn about Otto's backstory. Like even something subtle, like the
that was the
fact that
next
oh yeah
episode.
I guess my bad.
Oh,
Like
no,
even something
you can
subtle,
talk
like
about it.
it was like sort of like oh yeah, Otto just naturally is good at animals, and then just basically says this is why he's good at animals. Like oh. I just gonna find that nice that like it's a character like Otto that like you went from like oh he's just gonna be a side character, he won't be important in a couple of episodes, was like slowly like making his way up to being like this important prominent like character, and now like you're being able to learn more about him and like just the lore behind him as well. I think was pretty nice too. That's like I said, another thing that I really liked about this season was that it kind of like tied up a lot of loose ends and just gave like a lot of information, even if it wasn't completely necessary. Like I said, we didn't
Let
need
me
to
take
know
off
about
my
Otto's
shirt.
backstory,
Whoa.
but I still think it was pretty nice.
I like the backstory because it kind of helped us realize why he's risking his life for Subaru. Because it's kind of like the first like friend he's ever really had.
Who, Otto?
Yeah, Otto. Because you see like his whole like childhood, he was just like the weird kid, and now
Yeah.
Subaru's just like thinks it's cool he can talk to animals and doesn't like shun him for it, which is why he's like
I have it
so
written here
dedicated to him.
And
that
that's like another
Ryuzu.
thing I was. My bad.
No, go. It's okay. That's not like I wanted to talk. I'm joking. Go.
That's the thing I was to say. Like Otto's real like main reason to tag along was like to get like
They
this
wanted to
nice
be on Roswell's
opportunity.
good side, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then like you kind of
And
think to
then he
yourself
became
like
a real one. I fucking love
you're
Otto,
like
man.
yeah, it's like, wait, you were only coming because you wanted a better job. Like now you're risking your life, you're helping us out. Like thanks, but like,
And the thing I
what's the
find the crazy is
occasion?
like that this Otto isn't the one that went through the whole whale thing with him. It's like the Otto that met him like recently. That they have now known each other for
That's another
that.
thing that we were saying before. It's like, can it keep up with the timeline of what happened, who
I was
experienced what, who
confused as fuck
didn't?
when they showed that Otto got captured by the witches. When the and then I remember he got thrown into the village as kind of like a gag, but I was like, oh shit, he actually got like he was about to fuck. But like yeah, so like this Otto didn't even meet Subaru at the whole like witch shit. He was just on his like trading shit, and then like he got captured. But, okay, they talk about Garfield's past. Am I the one who cannot remember for the life of me where Ryuzu? I cannot remember
What do you mean?
because I have
What?
written here. Ryuzu tells Subaru about Garfield's past. No, I can't remember what Garfield's past.
Can't remember what his
Is
past is?
huh? What did Ryuzu tell him is what I'm asking. I cannot for the life.
I think they told him how he went to the sanctuary. He went to do the trial, failed it, and then came up banging his head on the wall. I think that's what
Oh
we learned
yeah,
about
that
it.
might have been.
Wasn't that part? What is it that he was trying to find a way for his mom to hate him, and then it was like his mom kissed him on his forehead, and he wanted to get rid of it, so he like
Yeah,
smashed his
Oh
head
yeah,
in.
yeah, we found that out a little later.
but I think
Yeah,
the
that's I
whole mom
remember.
part that was after they like kind of befriended Garfield.
Yeah.
Yeah, because his story does switch up. It kind of goes from like, "Oh, you're just mad because your mom left you," and he's like, "Well, yes, but no."
He wants to find a reason to be
He
mad at
wants
his
to
mom.
find a reason to be mad at his mom. He can't find a reason. His mom loved him, but I think it says that it hurts him more knowing that she died loving him than if she had died like hating him or like
Yeah.
looking for a better. But I mean, that was really all that happened in this episode. I can't think of anything else. The next episode is just like Graham and Otto. They face off against Garfield, and as I said, we learned about Otto's past. We talked about it a little. And Super up with Amelia. She's like breaking down and shit. And they fight Garfield at the end. I enjoyed that whole conversation between Amelia and Subaru. I thought it was very like real. With Subaru trying to like comfort her at first, and then him just getting he like snapped at her. I found I liked that conversation.
I did like that because I was like when I first was seeing this scene, I was like, "Oh, it's just gonna be like the post Julius thing all over again." They're gonna be like, "I love you, stop saying that, I love you." Oh, the fact that he was just like, he's like, you know what, like, nah, fuck this. You know what? I'm gonna
Everything
prove
you're
it. And
saying
then
that's
of
bad
course,
about you is true. But I love
and
you either way.
then
That's what I liked about it.
I think
and
that
I
was
think
really
of course, like
nice.
you said, the kiss kind of solidified that.
Yeah, they did kiss. Oh, did we miss anything on Otto's past?
Nah, he just
He
has
has an
really
older
good hearing.
brother, I
Nah,
He
guess.
has an older. He got beat up because he
no.
told the guy that like his girlfriend was cheating on him.
Yeah,
He got kicked out. Yeah,
he got
poor guy.
banished.
He got banished. I think yeah, I think
To
it
his
was like
shadow
it
realm.
was just like he was always like the weird kid, and then like he saw his family loved him and shit. Like he couldn't tell him he had like a divine power. But I think that was like
Aww.
though this whole episode, like the first half was like the whole Otto backstory, and the second half was like just a conversation between Amelia and Subaru. I
Yeah.
don't remember exactly what they said, but I think it was like it just went how we went. Like
I
at first he was
We
like,
did miss one thing. I think I can't remember
"What's up?"
actually.
Well, how did we
Um,
miss it?
cause I can't. Well, continue. I guess we'll see right now.
I mean, well, I was gonna say that the conversation just kind of consisted of like, "I love you." No, you don't. Yeah, I actually do despise some things about you, but I love you. Amelia like she locked in as well. Then at the end, Garfield appears, and then he fights them. But that was about it for this episode. Did you not
Then I
remember?
guess it was the part where Puck comes back and then breaks the contract, and then helps Subaru eventually help take down Garfield because he's like too strong.
My notes for this episode, the next episode, don't make sense. Um, I can't remember for the life of me.
I think they fight Garfield, and the main point was that he could use the invisible hands now,
Yeah.
Mm.
Yes.
which
And I think we also talked about it. We find out more about his past. Like he fucking banged his head against the thing that he wants to hate
I
his
still
mom.
think the most important part was that Puck kind of just disappeared.
We talked about that earlier. That she broke the contract with Amelia. I mean, we didn't recover. I just mentioned it.
Yeah,
No!
I thought it was kind of sad though.
Please, please, please. No, but like, yeah, Puck broke off the. But we do later find out that it wasn't completely Puck. It was fucking Roswell had some intervention in that.
which is just
But
like everything at this point. Like
yeah, which at this point it's like you're a bitch. Which at this point, what doesn't he have a fucking intervention in? But this episode really was just that, right? It like went deep. Garfield's past. We find out what he saw at the trial, and then I think I don't remember exactly where, but we start seeing more solidification. I think it was at the end because Amelia, and then she's talking to Echidna, and she knows who Echidna is, and she's like, and she's like, why? She's like, why are you like being mean to like a fellow witch or some shit? So I was like, well, it's kind of like they say something like that, right? Or like, why are you like?
Think they do
What did
call each
she
other
say?
witches.
She said something like, why are you acting so cold or so mean to like a. So I was like, well, this is kind of just. I see you. No, you were right there.
No, that's
Oh.
wild.
Yeah, but we kind of get confirmation is related to the witches. Oh, and then the next episode shows Echidna and Amelia going through
Her
Amelia's
backstory.
memories, and we find out it's basically just like a lot of it is the show showing the daily life of like a young Amelia, showing her like
You know what? I'm not gonna lie. I thought like yeah, I knew Amelia obviously has something to do with the freezing of the people, but I thought her backstory was to be like way more tragic. She was literally just your average person, and even to her end, I thought she was gonna fold. I was like, oh no, it's over. She's folding. You know, she's gonna do it because she wants to like save the day. But nah, she held strong. That was technically not even her fault. It was just
Yeah, I
she just
thought it
had
was
a
gonna be like
uncontrolled crash out.
yeah, I thought it was gonna be like a pod crash. I was like, she freezes
I
them
mean
like in
I
a
think it
morning.
was pretty tragic. But yeah, like this episode is just like the daily life of like a normal. Yeah, and then we also find out that Beto used to be normal, and
Yes.
that there was like a whole thing with like a signal that they were watching over, like the elves were like watching over that Beto is still good, and then that was one of the reasons that they had to have Emilio locked up. And then at the end of the episode, Regulus shows up. Thoughts on this episode?
I think
I feel like there wasn't like that much to talk
I think Emily
for me at
does have to
least.
be related to the witches because they don't
Huh?
like her actual parents. They kind of like don't talk about them that much,
I think they're dead.
or there's something weird about them.
So is that I guess to just clear it up? So can we confirm that Amelia is most likely the daughter of the Witch of
She's
Envy?
either a witch or the daughter of.
Yeah, I don't know. When I was watching,
At
I
some points, I thought
feel
she was
like they're
Satella herself,
telling.
and at one point, I thought it was a daughter. But I think she's the daughter.
Yeah, I think she's the daughter of the Witch of Envy.
Okay, but the big thing that for me was that Regulus at the end shows up, and again, this fucking witch is quiet. I don't understand them.
S- So I think at
My whole
this
thing was that
point,
my bad.
because the other that was the witch that was with them, right? That was
She
with
was a witch, but she wasn't one of the seven deadly sins. So I'm guessing there's other,
No.
cause
like smaller sin.
there's other smaller witches. Cause I forgot what they said she was.
Which she was I forgot what, but she was like a witch of something, but not like a
She
main.
was a witch of
Like
something. Agony? No, not agony. I don't know what it was. But I thought there were only seven witches, seven deadly sins. But no, there's more. Her name's Pandora, I think. She's the witch of
That's what I
something.
was gonna say. Is like I have no idea where Pandora fits in because, like I said, obviously she's
Yeah,
not one of
that.
the main seven. It's like who the hell is this Pandora? But she obviously, quote unquote, has features that would lean you more toward a witch,
yeah,
and the
No,
abilities was
I think they do
crazy.
call her a witch. She's yeah, her body's broken. I think anything she just speaks kind of becomes into existence. But and then anything else you want to say on this episode? It really ended on the cliff going up when Betelgeuse, Amelia, and Fortuna were all playing hide and seek together. That's where it ended up.
That was
Then the next
protected.
episode, it gives us some backstory on Ryuzu, Beatrice, and Roswell. They all know each other.
and they're all 400 years old.
They're all 400 years old.
Yeah.
Then Regulus and Pandora attack, and for they attack, and Gas tells Fortuna to escape with Amelia, and then he like opens the box, and he becomes like the Bishop of Sloth, or at least starts to become, because like at that point he was still like
He was a normal
kind of
person.
mentally sane.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
just shows how how that simple box was able to corrupt him within like
Yeah, at that point he was
minutes.
still kind of mentally
I think
sane.
what pushed him to go insane wasn't the death of the aunt, right?
That's what threw it over the.
Amelia's
I think
caretaker.
that's what threw it over the limit. But like here, he kind of starts like he opens it. I'm guessing that's what led him to, and then Archie dies to make time for Amelia to escape. What else happened here? That's not the right episode.
I mean, it's in the right
Amelia
direction, though.
went to the seal because she kept hearing that like all they wanted was, well, if I go and give them the seal, maybe they'll leave us alone. But we find out that Pandora was already at the seal. I'm gonna say, boy, justice for my boy Archie. I thought he, I liked Archie, even though we barely saw him. I thought he was chill.
Come here, little bomb.
Okay, buddy. Anything else you guys want to say? I mean, I can't remember Ryuzu and Roswell's story at this point. We all just kind of know that like Beatrice considers her mom, and like Roswell is like her student, and he feels indebted to her. By the way, I physically cringed at that scene. She kissed him after he threw up. I was disgusted.
Oh yeah.
I was disgusted, bro. I looked at my screen. I was like, holy shit. That is disgusting. That was in another episode, but like, I guess, yeah. We find out that like Beatrice considers like Echidna her mom. Roswell's like her student, and they all like got along as young. The next episode is the one where like Pandora is at the seal, and she's like, "Hey, Amelia, if you open the seal right now, like we'll leave, and none of this will."
That kind of makes me wonder, like, what role does this, like, I feel like,
Well, the seal is
something-
obviously something to do with the witch.
yeah, but
It's
like,
obviously
like
something to do with the.
we've already discussed that the witches aren't like
Evil.
their goal isn't like
Are they not
destroy
evil? Are they
the.
not
That's
evil
what I
'cause
said.
they're dead.
But
This is
during that
like-
flashback, they weren't.
What flashback?
Correct? The flashback where Amelia was a little legit.
There was no witches in that flashback.
Oh, maybe think about it in their
They-
flashback that happened like.
They were all dead by that
Well,
point.
the
I believe.
7 deadly sin witches are like they're dead by that point.
They were dead by that point. I think the reason they don't look too bad is they're dead by that point. I don't know. Like as I said, I don't think they're all evil, but I by no means
Like
don't.
I said, I just
I
don't
think
feel
they're
like
good people.
world domination is like maybe the sin of wrath, but like even then,
But she
Fuck.
seems like the nicest one out of them. So
Yeah, so
far,
I said
she seems
even
like the
her-
nicest one out of all of them.
like I said, I don't think world domination, resetting the earth, purging every single life form, is on their
Okay, but you
list.
also have. If they weren't evil, why is everyone so?
I kind of also feel like that's a perspective
I
thing.
think it's because of Satella. Like Satella is.
It's
like,
mainly
the
because of
evil
Satella,
witch.
isn't it? Because oh yeah, the only mentions the.
Because
the
I
evil
guess,
one.
I guess, put it in your shoes. Like you're a kid, and all you ever hear is, "Witches are bad. Witches are bad." Then you're gonna grow up thinking witches are bad, and then you're gonna teach your kid that witches are bad, and eventually the whole
I
society
thought
thinks
you
witches
said
are bad.
oysters the first time.
I was like, now you think that everyone was bad, but no one has actually like interacted with them.
Also, I think
Like
at the
that.
beginning of the series, they just refer to Satella as the witch.
Just
I
the
think-
witch,
yeah,
not
so I
like the
think
witch, not
she's
one of the
the
witches.
She's not the manager.
Yeah,
She's the manager.
yeah.
I don't know. Well, there's something in this. I'm guessing it is something soul or some shit. And we find out that Amelia is the key to open. And then for guess, let's team up and beat this bitch, yeah? And Guess fucking kills her. I kind of saw it coming as soon as like Fortuna slapped the shit out of Amelia. I was like, something's gonna happen here. But that shit was kind of tragic. I'm not gonna lie. Especially since it was kind of like implied they were like in
Yeah.
deny it,
Yeah.
and that was kind
Yeah,
of
there
what
was some
put Gas
sneakiness.
over like the fucking like limit. He was, that's what pushed him over the edge, and became Betelgeuse, I'm guessing. And then Amelia, as she crashes out and
Die,
yeah, she freezes the whole
Die.
forest.
die, die, die.
I think that's everything that happened in this one.
I think
Low
it's the
key,
end of
reasonable
the
crash
backstory,
out.
too.
This was the end of the backstory. Like at this
And
point,
she
I think
finally
we know
beats the trial.
the first one. At this point, we
After,
know
like-
everything. about Amelia. I think. Well,
She
supposedly.
did speedrun the last two trials. Like,
That's true. That let's say
She
that's
did
crazy.
speed. No, well,
Took
even
so
Echidna
damn
said
long.
if this one was easy for you, it would be no problem.
yeah.
But I look at Betelgeuse in such a different.
He wasn't always crazy buzz cut, bowl cut man.
And not that some of his actions were justified, because I think what he did crazy. But like you kind of see like, yeah, he wasn't always like this. Like the reason he's like this was for a noble
He
cause to
didn't
begin
choose
with.
this life.
He
He
did it
didn't
for
choose his
people he
path.
loved.
reminds me of like Subaru with that one run. Like I think the first time he got captured by Betelgeuse and he saw like Ren get like crucified in front of him.
Oh, and then
Like
he starts like going
freaking
crazy.
out. Yeah,
Yeah, he's like,
same
oh,
thing
and like
happened
he's
to
like,
me.
and this is the laugh of eight. Never mind. It's
Which I guess makes sense why Betelgeuse was like so attracted to Subaru because they were like kind of similar there.
wait. I saw someone talking. I gotta lock in. Someone talking.
Well, I think after that,
Fuck you.
the next episode they really coming out of the first trial, and they like she and Ram like confront Roswell.
Okay, I'm back. The next episode was like we see how Rose became indebted to Echidna. That like she taught her how to like my phone's typing on its own. We find out that like he taught her how to like magic shit, like let go of her magic.
Oh my
his
god!
magic. The village they lived in gets attacked by a guy named Hector. Again, who the fuck is Hector and Pandora? Like who
Your
the fuck
devious
is
ops.
his? I think his name was Hector. I wrote it down. I didn't. I the episode. I think his name was Hector. And then Ryuzu gets sacrificed for the barrier. They tried to negotiate with Roswell, but like, hey, and Amelia's gonna beat the fucking trial. Like you. Oh yeah, and another part that wasn't in Roswell's plan was him like befriending Garfield and also Subaru using Otto. I think he was like, you weren't mentioned. Is that what he said?
I think something like
I think that's what he said
bring
about
the
Otto. He's
new
like,
one and take one out. Was
yeah, he was like, you weren't mentioned in my book. And he's like, so, and then that's when he's like, Subaru's like, hey, give up, bro. And he's like, Roswell refused. I think he's something about like, he said they had a whole argument. I don't remember exactly what about weakness and like doing everything for the one person again, just Roswell shit, crazy. But I think that's like the main things that happen in this.
I think the main point was Roswell believes everyone has a weakness, and Subaru believes in like strength in numbers.
Their strength in everyone, some shit like that.
Yeah, I think that was the main like argument point.
Yeah. Oh, who the fuck is Hector, by the way?
Don't.
I have a cousin named Hector.
I think I know a guy named Hector. But I think that's when we see how like the I forgot the name of the smog who's like went into the crystal to save Roswell. Because he was getting beat up by this
No!
Hector guy.
Huh?
Roswell got like beat up by this Hector guy. Like he got comboed.
Where are you?
Oh, he was getting his ass beat by Hector.
Hector was not playing around.
How do I untransform? How do I untransform?
I can't tell you.
What the fuck? There's a duck. Where's this duck?
Okay, I got it. Yeah, but that was the only thing. Like we find out why Roswell's indebted. She kisses a throne of Please, I gotta be the next episode. 10-second piece. 10-second piece. 10-second piece. 10-second piece. Yeah. Okay, 10-second piece. All right, in the next episode, you're such a bitch. Okay, buddy. In the next episode, we find out that Garfield could leave the whole time. Didn't wanna. And then Ram asks Amelia to save Roswell, and like cause Ram asks Amelia to save Roswell because like, he's become possessed by this
He's
book or
upstairs,
some
get
shit.
him!
Where? Is he behind me? He's like, hey, he's become like. I saw him transform.
Get him, get him!
Oh fuck.
I'm by the. Where is he? I do.
No, you don't. No, you don't.
There's two of them here.
Wait, sorry,
Where's the
sorry,
other one?
Eric. Uh, okay, we find out that Garfield could leave. Like, apparently his mom got around. Oh, okay, no, not that she got around. She just had bad taste in men. He even says like, my mom
Uh,
had bad
uh,
taste in men. Ram then asks Amelia to save Roswell because he thinks that he's become possessed by the book and like strayed from his original like goal and path. And I low-key thought that Ram was gonna betray them again because Roswell comes up to her and
No way.
she's like, you're such a good actor or some shit. And no, but she's stuck by their side, and then they confront Roswell with Puck. And at the same time, Subaru and Otto return to the mansion, and then Frederica and Petra get
all hell breaks loose.
Yeah, pretty much.
I feel like this was like a setup episode. You know what I mean? It was a setup. Next couple. I don't have much. Unless you guys know.
I think that. I think the main.
I
point
think
was
that was
just
mainly it. As I said, this one was like a setup episode for the next.
Because I feel like we all know that, like, at this point, we've already known that, okay, the trials are slowly going. Like, the trials, you kind of got that on lockdown. You know, Subaru and Amelia both have found their peace. They've met with their past, and they've kind of
Wait, there's one
confronted their
big thing we
issue.
missed. Never mind, that's the next one. My bad, guys. My bad.
I was like, I think at this point, you know, we kind of knew that it was the two issues they had to deal with. You know, the trial issue and, you know, his ops, and then, of course, the mansion. So I feel like now at this point that we know, like, okay, you know, Amelia's basically, you know, she's okay. You know, she got her confidence back. She got her memories back. You know, she's chilling. So now we gotta focus on the main issue, which of course is
This is the mansion
the
episode.
the belly button slasher. Cause I'm
Before
not even
we
gonna
get
lie,
there,
I'm not gonna lie, bro. She was still kind of looking like an unstoppable force. Like,
before we get there, my stomach just grumbled. Subaru talks to Beatrice and she gets pissed and kicks him out. And then this part
I
confuses me.
suppose.
Amelia sees what her life could have been, and then Echidna cries and leaves. What the fuck? I was so confused here.
I am confused on that part.
I was genuinely confused. Like I just stared at my screen. I was like, what the? Why is she crying?
I cannot
Like-
say that she is mean. So
She says she's mean, and that's like such a weird thing for Echidna to say. Like you're mean. I don't know, bro. Like this episode, because that was the big thing that happened in episode 4. It was like Amelia's. She has that whole behold an unthinkable present shit, and she sees what it. It was so wholesome. I wish it would have happened. It didn't. And then when she says that she's not gonna accept this reality, that she's gonna live and like eat despite all this, Echidna starts crying, and I don't understand why.
maybe you kinda didn't expect her to like be this locked in, or maybe
But like,
sees
why
a
would she
part of
cry?
herself in Amelia or something.
I don't know. I don't know. Echidna, the witches are, as I said, they give me headaches when I try to like think about why.
Yeah. But
What their reasonings or what their like how their actions are just.
I think we for sure had to see at least one witch commit like their sin. Like in animation.
I mean,
at some
when
point.
when Subaru first has the tea party, she like tells him like the sins.
But we never see
But I
him,
forgot.
though.
We never see him. I forgot
you know,
what
I find
everyone
kind of
was.
crazy.
What?
Is technically speaking, since from the beginning of season 1 to the end of season 2, technically, isn't it no more than a month?
Bro, it's been like 3 weeks. I swear to God, it's
That's
been
what
like
I
3
was
weeks.
gonna say.
There's no.
All this
bro,
has happened
shit
in
has gone
3
down
weeks.
since Subaru has like I don't know how long it's been.
It has 3 months because I think at some point there was like a 2 month like gap. Like when Super had to, like.
I think he
release
did
his
mention
manga
something about
thing.
like not having.
But all
Did
this
he
in a
mention
short
something
amount
like
of time is pretty crazy.
No, but yeah, like all hell has gone.
like I feel
where it
like at this
started.
point the
They
kid
did
just
say
kind
they
of
were.
stop.
They did say
You know,
they were
like
expecting it as soon as Amelia was running because
yeah.
a witch. But like, yeah, all hell's broken loose as Subaru. That was like that was the main talking point for me. Why the fuck did a kid? But it was sad to see Archie again. I was like, damn, this is my boy.
Yeah.
Anyways, the next episode, Amelia like sees like the possible futures of what could be, and she goes to have a tea party, but Echidna doesn't show up because she's like mad or sad at Amelia. She doesn't want to see Amelia. So Minerva shows up, and I think she basically confirms here that's like, damn, you really are her daughter. Something about that.
Yeah.
And then Minerva was like,
Flashback
oh,
to when you really are his son.
oh
Reference.
yeah, they
That might
flashback.
be a.
You
I mean,
really are his son.
That might have been intentional. I'm not gonna lie,
I mean, not be.
but
I guess that might be a small thing in like Garfield's thing, right? How like he's part of like human, part beast. Maybe also part of his lineage.
what do you mean?
I don't know. I'm just
Hmm?
throwing stuff. Maybe like common themes, like everyone's connected to like their parents somehow.
Oh,
That
so
like
like
live
they
their
all like
expectations.
now that they live on through
Mm,
their parent. Maybe yeah.
that even like puts it better though is that everyone it tries to live up to be their parents or even try to become them, which could even set up to like saying like you said Amelia might be the daughter of the Witch of Envy, to where like eventually towards the end it's like the whole plot
I
is she not
I don't think might have.
becoming.
I think she is. I think at this. But
Dun,
Minerva's
dun,
basically
dun,
like,
dun.
because she asks Amelia, she's like, and you're willing to continue even though you know that all these futures are possible futures, and she's like, yeah,
Hell
because they're
yeah,
possible, and if we could do something to change it, then we'll do it. And then
Doctor
like
Strange moment.
Minerva's like crying, and she like hugs Amelia.
And
Uh,
now
I don't know what this
I'm
means.
looking back at it now. Amelia having a similar trial of being like look at like a possible like current timeline. Does that also kind of explain how like maybe Subaru what Subaru saw was also like not real? Because
I think
there's
the
no way
difference
like
was that
Amelia's thing
Amelia
was
was only shown one, because she only has technically one life. Subaru has died multiple times, and in each one of those, it could have been the theoretical life he could have lived. You
so
know
like
what I mean?
yeah, so I
But
guess maybe those are like actually like timelines and it's just what we saw wasn't a possible
no, you
timeline,
fucking duck.
but just like what could have been. Like if we just saw what happened after his death.
I think that is most likely because that's exactly what I thought. I was like, well, could have been, but since all of Subaru's lives have ended with his death, they're not as happy as Emilia's because what could have been after his death. I mean, in his life is just fucking misery. What else? She comes out of the trial. What episode were we on? Oh, Minerva hugs her, and she basically confirms that she's the witch's daughter.
Mm,
I think that's
mm,
it.
mm, mm,
Is
mm.
Elsa dead? Is she finally dead? I
I
think that's the only thing that happened. I don't think so.
also dies like at the end of like episode like 49, right?
I mean, I have it in episode 4.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Elsa's dead. She gets crushed.
Finally,
I don't think she can
But
regenerate.
that fight was low key freaky as. They were biting each other. They were like, shoot, loving it,
kinky
bro.
ass shit.
That shit was kinky as fuck. And again, my boy fucking, my boy Garfield just keeps getting groomed. He's 14.
And he's
By the way,
14.
he did what Reinhardt couldn't. He did what Reinhardt couldn't.
Yeah.
Isn't Reinhardt the strongest character
I
in this
think they
fucking verse?
mentioned that how like when they first started the fight, he's like, "Oh, because I of a near-death
Because of the
experience, I'm
dumbass who couldn't
stronger."
finish you off.
And then Garfield's like, "Oh, that guy's a dumbass then."
Yeah, he says something like so. He's like, oh, the guy who didn't finish off is shit. But I mean, they try to make you feel sympathy for Elsa, and then they just completely throw it out the window. Comfort and like human blood and
Like,
intestines.
I like eating people's belly
We
buttons.
also find out that they're sisters, the little one, and
Are are they sisters? Or are they like
I
sisters
thought
in
they
like
just said that just cause, yeah.
in
did they? I don't know. They said they were sisters. I take
Yeah.
it. It might be like figuratively, like, well, we're both in the witch's cult, so we're sisters.
Yeah, I think that's how
Something
they're
tells me
sisters.
she's not dead. I have a feeling she's not dead. I have a feeling we'll see her.
To be fair, she's been the only like technically consistent prominent villain besides the
Have
witches.
we had a villain yet?
Roswell.
Yeah, like the villains like one. I don't
The
know where.
the little jet mob beast user.
The
Oh, I forgot her
Legit.
name.
Uh,
I find it
I
so
knew she
funny
was an
when
op from
like
the start. I
I
knew
find
she
it
was an
so
opposition.
I find it so funny when like when she tells she's like, since you're my friend Petra, I'll like make it quick, and Petra's like, well, since we're friends, can you just let me go? I
Fuck
found that
no.
shit
Yeah.
so funny, bro.
She's like, let me think.
That was probably I think I find it funny because it was like kind of like a serious moment, and it just kind of like she was
Top
like, hey,
10
well, since we're
saddest anime
friends,
deaths.
you want to let me live? But yeah, as I said, Ram confesses that she loves Roswell, and then she throws his book away, and then she blows her to pieces. But I don't know how I feel about
Why
that.
am I
It also,
small?
huh?
Why am I small?
How do you guys feel about Ram loving Roswell?
It feels wrong.
It feels wrong.
Dude,
Thank you. I knew I wasn't the only one.
It feels wrong.
someone else.
Yeah.
It's just a cycle
But
of greed at
technically,
this
they're
point.
full. That's some Diddy
Because
stuff.
especially since we found out that he, again, I feel like this is worse than the Ram one. Because
Into the
he
Diddy
killed her
verse.
people.
Yeah.
No, I'm saying that it's worse. Like, well, Ram's like love for Subaru, it wasn't bad. It just came.
Yeah, my respect.
But for her, yeah, well, my respect. But for her, it was like this motherfucker killed your family. Like, he's the reason you don't have a and like you love. I don't know. I just and she says
Where's
that
your
like
mom?
I
Dead.
think also
Where's your dad?
him
and she
like
does say
Dead.
something
taking her
about like,
away was
huh?
like makes it weird for me. How
That
like
he raised that like she like picked her up when she was small,
yeah,
right?
he not even like raised her. So I think
Thank God he doesn't love her back.
that he draws the line
Damn,
at
that's
that.
tough.
But yeah, like I don't know how I felt about that Ram loving Roz. But yeah, and then she gets blown up.
Yeah.
I don't know how she survived that. But
And this also skipped
Kaboom.
the whole Beatrice part.
did we? I don't remember.
Because like that's when like Subaru say like I'm not your guy and gets
Oh,
like
he
blown up
does
to
say I'm
pieces.
not your guy, and then Beatrice kicks him out.
And then he goes back in to like
And then
look
oh
for
yeah,
her.
and the fucking mansion is like burning down, and he's looking for her.
Yeah, which
You're such an asshole.
uh,
Oh, I see you.
which
Whoa. 360 no scope.
Fuck, man, I suck.
what was that it for that episode?
Wait, I'll tell you right now.
Just being like I'm not
Ah,
your guy.
you. Oh, I think that was yeah. Garfield kills her, and then and she gets blown up. Amelia comes out, and it's snowing because we found that Ross activated a spell prior to that.
My whole thing
Roswell,
is that I
also.
was not expecting the bunnies to be like show up as many times as they did, and every single time they do, you know shit's about to go down.
Yeah, I'm scared when I see them.
Yeah, it's terrifying. Roswell kind of snapped back after he like killed Ram, but she's like alive, and
Not back to reality. Oop,
he's
he
like
lost
keeping her
gravity.
alive. Um, I did not understand this part at all. We see Ryuzu sacrifice herself again, but I thought the barrier had. I didn't understand,
I think
guys.
she has to sacrifice herself to like take down the barrier.
But I thought that was the whole point of the trial.
I think the trial was to break the spell.
I have no clue. Genuinely, this part confused me. I don't know if you picked it up. I have no clue why this is because it was the one that raised Garfield.
It
I
was
have
the
no
one.
clue why this Ryuzu sacrifice. I was confused. As I said, I don't know if you guys know. I thought the whole breakdown. But after that, we see the whole conversation of Subaru trying to get her out and trying to. And this, I actually really like this conversation. Basically, she's like, Subaru's like, I can't be that guy, but like, I can be the guy who like makes you like smile, gives you fun times and all. And then she doesn't want it because she knows that she's immortal and she knows that he'll lose him eventually. But then he's like, I'll like give you enough memories to make it last an eternity. I thought that I really like that conversation. Like all these super conversations are just he has really good dialogue. I really like
At the
the,
perfect
huh?
time. He knows what to say to people.
He knows what to say at the perfect time. I like this whole conversation. Like genuinely, I think this might be my favorite conversation. And then it caught me so off guard because I thought he was gonna. I thought because I saw that the title of the episode was "Choose Me." I thought that he was gonna say like she was gonna say please choose me first or some shit because she mentioned it earlier. She was like you never choose me first, but no, he said choose. You're such an asshole. He said choose me because he was like I know that I offer you much. You can probably protect yourself and shit. What the fuck? How do you even make those noises? What was
But
I saying?
what's
Oh yeah,
that?
and then I think that was it. And then like they come into the rescue at the end. When like Amelia's gonna fend off the rabbits, they come in
Not the rabbits.
And then
and they're about to save the
they
day.
cage him. They cage him.
Mm,
Is there anything you guys want
yeah.
to say about this episode?
I low-key didn't expect Subaru to pull that spell out.
I
I
mean that
thought
was the next one, but like I mean we could talk. Yeah, I thought the way they killed the Grey Rabbit was kind of bullshit. Not gonna lie, but I think what was he using the spell or like
I think it
was
was he learned the spell on the
Yeah.
spot.
He
Which
just kept
I
using it.
think him being closer to Beatrice was maybe allowed him to use the spell as well.
bro jumping off the edge is so broken. There's two of you here. No, but yeah, I thought the way they killed kind of bullshit. They all beat the shit out of Roswell. That was satisfying.
That was
That was satisfying. Then they knight Subaru at the end. Did you guys notice this? When Roswell and Beatrice go to mourn Echidna, wasn't she ugly as shit? Like she looked way different from the Echidna that met Subaru. Like her face was like way like. Did you
that
guys
is a
not
dead
notice it?
one though. That is a dead.
I guess. Well, I low key like said what the fuck out loud. Like when they like it shit caught me so off guard. She was
It
ugly as
is.
shit.
Also, does Mia now remember what happened?
No, she doesn't
Like,
remember. Because remember that Subaru had to
yeah,
like make a
yeah.
pact with Echidna?
Cause like, look, I remember that when she was like, "Who is this person?" Like in the
Wait, yeah.
Boy.
Well,
Shadow
this
clones
isn't
legit.
fun, is it? Just the muffled that no. But is that it? Is that all you want?
I
I
think
feel
that
like
was it.
I feel like the biggest part of these last two episodes was I really liked the speech with Beatrice and Subaru.
my favorite part was Emilia thought she was pregnant because of the kiss.
Oh my god, I forgot about
Oh
that.
yeah.
Cause Puck told her that if you, bro, I thought
You
she was
know,
gonna miss.
that just brings up, like I said, like I think it's in the first or second episode, like how like basic terminology, like knowing what a date is, like kind of shows like how like not gullible, but like
Like
how
shallow.
crazy you
Like,
could like you could trick someone.
what is it?
I don't think
Like
it's anyone.
I
Like
think it's
if you
Amelia.
told people, it's just Amelia, bro. People know in this world that like how to have a baby. It's just Amelia's
I
character. It's
mean,
just the
yeah,
fact
but
that
I
she's
guess
like
technically with the backstory, you could tell like she was like legit. Then she was
she like
like
and then she was frozen
died.
for like she's probably like missing out on like How many years was she frozen? Set? How much? I don't know if they
She
say.
never went to school. I don't think so.
Do you think they showed her how babies are? Bro, she has so anything she's told, especially by Pug, who she trusts,
Oh,
she's gonna believe. Where is he?
Devious activity.
He's right behind you.
Is the wolf?
no.
I thought he was our teammate. No, yeah, but like, I think that was it for these last episodes. Let me see if I didn't miss. Um, did we talk about how Beatrice kept rejecting him? We did. They beat the shit out of Rod. We did. Echidna's ugly as shit. Oh, one big thing. Is it the same Roswell or a different one?
I didn't ever talk about like Roswell like like transfers his soul onto like.
But like, so she
I
says
thought that
that
happened
like
at the end, no?
they kind of reveal that like I thought it was the same Roswell that had lived 400 years, but then at the end they're like it's a different Roswell. So like, oh, it's just a different Roswell that's carrying on the legacy.
In Beatrice's like
But then,
memories, I think. How like
but
he would
then
come
Beatrice
in.
mentioned something about him figuring out the immortality spell of like. I'm guessing it's the same Roswell, no?
I mean, I guess, but then why towards the middle of the season did he go? My time in this version of the world is absolutely gets mauled by rabbits. Like,
Cause he
yeah, I
knew
feel like
Subaru's
he.
power.
Yeah, I think that
I
was it.
guess.
But I think because it was like Roswell, but then the next one he was like, "Oh, I'm Roswell B Mayors."
He said something about that. Yeah, he's like a
So I
name.
think
So
it
I
was
thought it was just like a family name, and
no,
they
so
would like write down the knowledge or some shit.
yeah,
But then she mentioned how like if he figured out the spell that Echidna had been working on,
so
and did they answer
I
that?
think what it is the original Roswell was getting old because we saw him get physically weaker with like the cane. And then he came in, he learned how to like transfer like his soul, I think.
And then he transferred into
Maybe
the
a conscience.
Yeah,
coming Roswells.
like his like personality, I think. And then the new one would come in, learn how to get that spell as well, and then like kind of like just leave Beatrice alone. So I think it's like a different like body, but like more or less the same like personality. Which is why when they're like grieving, they're like, is this the Roswell? And he's like, yes, it's the
That's the
Roswell.
confusion I came to. And then at the end, when like Beatrice, she's like, "Welcome back, Roswell," because like he broken from like the delusions of the witch. That was the last point I wanted to that we hadn't mentioned. That like I didn't know if it was the same Roswell or if it was like or if it was a different Roswell.
I think it's different bodies, but like more or less the same
I think it
small
might be
thought.
that. Any closing thoughts, questions, concerns?
I guess like I said overall, in my personal opinion, I like season two
No one
better.
gives a fuck
I
about your
think
personal opinion.
okay,
I'm
little
sorry, I'm
bro.
sorry, I'm sorry, sorry.
Our 7 viewers do.
Our 7 viewers do.
Our seven.
That's why they were so mad last week that you didn't put featuring Figgy. That's why the views took a tank.
Is that why we lost 10
Yeah,
views?
I have a reputation to uphold. But yeah,
Fine,
like
give it to us.
I said, I enjoyed this series. Like I said, I don't think I would have ever actually looked at the series on my own without this. But I feel like that's like the great and amazing part of this little podcast that we have to basically open us to stuff that maybe we hadn't watched or we wanted to watch but never got through to it. And like I said, I going into this, I actually had really low expectations. Like I said, I haven't really found an anime that I enjoyed that I wanted to like continue watching, like without like it
Bullshit,
being
bullshit,
like
bullshit.
bored. But like I said, I feel like ReZero was like I thought it was really great. I think if I had to rate both the seasons together, I'd probably rate it like an 8.8. But like I said, I would give season two a little
You
higher. I'd say
didn't give me
9.
time. You just gave
And
it
season
fucking
one, I'd
raw.
give like an 8, 8.5. But
I
me and my personal opinion, think season two was better.
I think this is where we fall. I think this will lose on view because I don't know how we're gonna. I don't know what we're gonna.
Tune in next week when we finally start a new review. The time I got
this-
reincarnated into
You lied like for half the sentence. For me, I
Well,
think the series overall was like a 9. As I said, I think I one a little bit more, but I started thinking. I was like, right? Did I enjoy it more because it had more like, oh my god, what the moment, or because it was better? And I think it was because it had more moments that was like. But I think if I look at it objectively, I think season 2 is maybe better. The thing I liked about it more is that it answered all Roswell's backstory, Amelia's backstory, but it also left the shit ton we
Otto.
don't know. Like, I have even more questions about the witches. Like, it felt like satisfying. A lot of my questions have been answered, but I still have a
I
lot of
feel like
questions.
it's more of here's an answer to 4 questions, but here's 2 more.
But here's 2 new questions, so you'll always have a question. Like, I still don't know why the fuck is Echidna crying? Are the witches evil? If they aren't, why the fuck is the witch cult so evil? Why
What's
is there
the
more
overall
witches?
goal?
What is Pandora's thing? Is the seal the original? So, like, I got a lot of questions. But yeah, I think overall, I'd give it a 9.
Mario, what would you give it?
I think
Both seasons.
a good 9, solid
A
9.
good 9? I agree. Edgar?
Well, I would give it a 9. I really liked it. I think for me the second season was better than the
Guys, I gotta go
first.
to the bathroom.
Yeah.
Kind of like what you said, because like the first season leaves you with open-ended questions and like wondering what's going on, and
I
then the
think the
second
first
season
season for
answers
me,
some of them, but like then you're also still left with more.
I think the first, I think it is as yeah, I thought at first glance because it's like bro, the fucking like moment where he's carrying Ram and he gets bro. That moment was like that. Okay, no episode has come close to that. Can we all agree on that?
Yeah,
No episode
Yeah,
has
I
come
think
close to that
that's
one
the
yet.
best by far.
That's the one. That's the best one we've watched. I like both a lot. I think season 2 is maybe a little better, but I think I enjoyed. Should we end
Don't
it
forget
there?
to tune in next week. We
There is
watch
no
the
next week.
time I got
This is
the
the
time
follow.
I got reincarnated as a vending
This is
machine.
this is the follow.
now
You know,
you gotta believe.
if this is the fall off, once you hit rock bottom, the only way to go is up.
Yeah, saw
Yeah,
that
so.
in Sing.
Huh?
And sing.
In
The hit
Sing.
movie Sing.
I thought that was a prime.
Thanks for watching.
Say something dumb, Piggy.